Welcome. Let's consider the following equation, which represents a parabola, and let's write it in standard form. Let's start by reminding ourselves, what is the standard form of a parabola? There are two equations that we can consider. We have x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k, and we have y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. But which one should we consider for the equation that we were given? Well, notice that in the equation that we were given, x is being raised to the second. So let's consider the equation where x is raised to the second. So now we have our objective. Let's take a look at the equation that we were given and then perform some algebra and make it look like this. But one thing that I notice in the equation of a parabola is that this expression that we have on the left-hand side, this is a result that we can obtain when we complete the square. So that's going to be our process. Let's go through the process of completing the square on the variable of x, because notice that that is the variable that is being raised to the second. Let me start by bringing my equation down. Well, if I want to complete the square on x, then any other term that does not have an x on it, I'm going to move it to the right-hand side of the equation. So let me start by subtracting 16y to both sides. I still have one term that does not have an x on it on the left. Let me move that to the right as well. So now that every term that has an x on it, it is in the left-hand side, let's obtain the value that is in front of x, and let's perform the process of completing the square. There's going to be two operations that we're going to do to negative 12. First, I'm going to divide it by 2. And then I'm going to raise it to the second degree, which is going to give me the value of 36. And what we are going to do with this value, we're going to add it to both sides of the equation. To the left and to the right. And now the reason why we wanted to do that is because notice that the expression in the left, if we would have factored that out, we would have obtained the expression of x minus 6 times x minus 6, which we can just rewrite it as x minus 6 squared. So let's just rewrite our equation then. In the right-hand side, I can combine like term 28 and 36, which is going to give us positive 64. And now let's pause here, because notice that what we have so far, it's kind of looking like the objective. We have x minus some value to the second, so that's good. But notice at the right-hand side, there's still some work to do to it. But we can see that there was something factored out to the variable of y. So let's take a look at the values that we have in the right-hand side and see if we can factor anything out. We can factor out negative 16. And then we're going to obtain y minus 4. So perhaps the last thing that we need to modify, it is that negative 16. We have to write it as a multiple of 4, which it will be minus 4. Four times negative 4. It is equivalent to negative 16. And we are done. This equation that we have just found, it definitely looks identical as the standard form of the equation of a parabola. Hello. If you would like to continue learning about mathematics, you can check out the videos on the left.